Hey everyone, welcome to the Friday live stream. How are you guys this
Happy
wonderful
Friday!
summer
Hello,
day?
everyone. Hello, Steve. Hello,
Hello.
Bob. Hello,
What's
Jay.
up,
Hello, picture of
Evan?
Kara.
Well, so just before we started the live stream, the Pentagon released their report on
Oh,
the UFOs, the
Oh my gosh, they're
UAP.
here. They're,
Yeah,
yep, that's it.
and
ET's everywhere,
as
right?
predicted
Yeah.
by
nothing burger.
some skeptics, it was a huge, massive nothing burger.
Wait, what?
Um, they so of course they say no evidence of aliens. There's 144, I think they said, encounters that they could not explain, but mostly because of lack of data. They just didn't have enough data
Right.
to say definitively
Sure.
what it was. Um,
Those must be them, right?
yeah, right.
There's your UFOs.
It's perfectly meaningless news, Steve, because it's not going to change anybody's mind.
I know, I know. Um,
Still frustrating as hell. You'd think I've done a cursory look and haven't found anything anybody that's really nailing it. Like for example, Washington Post had a sentence that really kind of pissed me off. Um, the mere existence of the report was a remarkable acknowledgement that human beings have encountered objects that perform feats we cannot explain. Really? That's what you're
that's not
saying
true.
here?
That's
It's
demonstrably not
blatantly
true.
false.
Where did they get that from? They clearly didn't get that from the report.
They got it
So,
out of
Well,
their ass. That's where
I
they
haven't
got it.
seen
Right.
I haven't seen the report, but I mean, I haven't read it yet. But that's just a stupid sentence. I hate it. That it's sentences like that are going to just keep pushing this. Not that it would take, not that if they reported properly, would it really help that much?
Yeah.
But still, just annoying. So
I'm
frustrating.
totally like I couldn't be more over a situation.
I know.
I was bored with this 20 years ago.
Yeah, but these things always come back. Not too long ago we had a little mini astrology thing that we had to like, oh yeah, we got to push that down again. A new generation is like, what's this astrology thing? But it's the same crap, you know.
Right. What I
Yep.
mean, I just want somebody to say that, by the way, with our advanced technology, we would expect to have scores and hundreds of
Yes.
sightings that we can't explain because it was at the edge of observability and there's just not enough information there. This is what we would expect. This is normal. If we did not such UAP, then that would truly be extraordinary.
Nothing's
Yeah.
I
changed
just want
in
somebody to say that.
70 years, right?
Yeah.
It's
The other way to
been
look at
same
this is
evidence.
that so they're saying we can encounter these things every day. These things are all over the place. Or there's like so many of these encounters that they can't explain. If there were any significant new phenomenon going on, eventually someone would get a clear photo. One of these ships would get close enough to get a photo, to get video or whatever that was definitive, that showed us what the thing is, not just a blob. The thing is, whenever they do, it's something mundane, and therefore it's not a UAP. It's only a UAP if it's in that border zone
Sweet
of
spot, yep.
detectability. Yeah, that sweet spot of ambiguity. That's the phenomenon. The phenomenon is the ambiguity.
That's right.
Phenomenon.
And it's true with
Ba, ba,
ghosts,
ba,
and
ba,
it's
ba.
true with
Yeah.
Bigfoot. They are all the same pattern, just a different environment, a different context. That's all. Same idea.
Mhm. No,
I
absolutely.
just feel like telling these people just shut the fuck up and stop
Yeah.
talking about UFOs. Let's get over it.
That's sorry,
Yeah.
Jay. It's
There's
cultural
not- but there-
I know that's not
saturation.
gonna happen.
No, it's
Right.
so saturated in the culture. It's accepted as the truth. You could not beat it out of people.
It's not even provocative anymore, though. It's like, okay, another blurry picture. Like we're not finding any
Well,
materials.
Tell that
We're-
to the producers of every other, History Channel, Discovery Channel, and all those other channels who are, have no shortage of time to fill up with these kinds of shows on their TV stations. Turn on your TV anytime. There's at least 2 or 3 of those shows on at any given
Yeah.
time of the day. The demand is there. It just is, and they're going to feed the demand because there's dollars behind it. Frankly, that's what it is.
Yeah, of course.
And they're not going to they're not
I
going to
agree.
help squash anything or, invite real
Mhm.
skeptics on to offer a real skeptical program. We're going to have to, we're on our own. We have to do this work ourselves as the skeptic community has been doing since the days of Philip Klass and, back in Carl Sagan in the 70s, 60s and 70s and all the way
Yeah.
up to today.
Yeah, but
Right.
the frustrating thing, so many things about what skeptics have to deal with are stuff that's in this wheelhouse, right? It's very similar to this. And I guess what I'm saying is my sentiment towards this type of blurry picture nonsense is it can't be more ridiculous and boring all mixed together at the same time. Like I'm just, we get to the point, and I know we have to be the memory, the social memory of things like this.
Institutional memory.
Right. I totally agree. I totally get it. I'm just saying from a personal, from my personal level, I look at this whole thing and I'm like, are we actually going to have this conversation again? Like,
Yeah, we're going to continue to,
Mhm.
Jay. It's just that's the.
I know.
Look at it this way, Jay.
I know, but I'm fatigued.
Jay, a professional teacher goes and teaches the same class every year to new sets of students and new sets of students. If you look at it
Yeah.
more like that, then perhaps it won't be as frustrating or ripping your hair out.
Yeah, but the problem with that analogy, Evan, is that everyone who graduates from your class, or nearly everyone, gets a D-.
Right, Bob?
Yeah, sure. Well, no, there are some A students though, but they're
There
That's
are
what I meant by.
some,
That's
right?
what I meant by mostly.
There's some.
Bob.
It's either that or nothing. I mean, it's kind of either that or nothing, really. If our community is not going to be the vanguard of this kind of stuff, nobody else is going to step up and do it. Scientists aren't going to bother with it.
Well, I mean,
Right? The media is not doing their part.
yeah, unfortunately, there's three groups of people. There's the people who don't care, there's the people who believe, and there are the skeptics.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're not a believer, you probably don't care. But what does frustrate me about episodes like this and the way it's reported in the mainstream media is that the broader culture, not just the core of enthusiasts, but the broader culture sort of walks away with the sort of superficial bottom line of there's something going on and the Pentagon doesn't know what it is, but it's extraordinary. And so, but
Right.
that's wrong. The bottom line is wrong. And it just becomes one more myth that gets embedded into the culture.
Yep.
But it's the opposite of extraordinary. How could a even person that doesn't have any idea? You're looking at nothing. There's not even we're not seeing anything that even looks like there's aerodynamics or engines or what.
That's right, Jay. What fuels it? And you know what fuels it. People want it to be true. That is
I
the
know,
fuel
I know.
that burns. The
I wish they could
desire.
just come up with something new, that at least something we could dig our teeth into.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Yeah.
Well, the Pentagon also said that they can't rule out flying unicorns. At that.
Yeah, or spaghetti
Well, while there was no
monsters.
specific evidence to indicate that they were flying unicorns, it's in the other category of things that they can't specifically rule out.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's a great way to put it.
Levitating
it really
apples, right?
puts it into perspective when you say it that way.
Levitating
Well,
apples.
it's true. I mean, the thing is, it's like insert cultural belief system here, right? Like whatever culture you're from or whatever belief that's you want, like the things that are on the fuzzy edge of perception, that's what that is.
Right. It's the teapot in space, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's where pseudoscience lives. It lives right inside those margins. That's where it like a mushroom, in the.
That's
the
why.
dark.
Do you ever? What was that movie with Jack Black? Where they were hunting. It was the I think the latest King Kong movie, the latest King Kong
Oh,
movie.
King Kong.
Yeah.
Where they're like trudging through this primordial forest with dinosaurs and everything, and like one of the guys that was traveling with them, like all serious and was like, I know what it is, I know what the creature is. It's the abominable snowman, right? Dead serious, because it was hilarious to the audience because it sounds ridiculous. The abominable snowman, like it's a childish cliche, but it's all perspective. It's all cultural perspective,
What does the word abominable mean?
Like,
Abominable.
like,
Kind of
Like it's
like
an abomination.
yeah, abomination. It's
he's like persnickety and really pissed off at the same time.
ogre-like.
Weird and pissed off.
Something like that. Yeah.
All
well,
right. So would you rather have there be an abominable snowman or a Bigfoot, like a regular run of the mill Bigfoot?
But see, what makes
They're
it
the
regular
same
run of the
thing.
mill? It's
Well,
just
it
that's
depends
our
what
culture.
continent you're on. That's all.
You know,
Yeah.
because
That's the only-
the abominable snowman is huge.
No, it's
Huge.
the same. It's basically
No.
a snow adapted Yeti.
Right.
You know.
It's a polar bear to the grizzly.
No,
Yeah.
can we please agree that the abominable snowman is big? Can he just be like 10, 15 feet tall?
He's
Well,
he's
yeah, I
big.
mean-
You know, he's big near Christmas Town, but not when you get past outside of Christmas Town.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Puts the star
Bumbles
up.
bounce.
It's still funny to me. I don't know. I'd rather have there be an abominable snowman. At least there's something moderately provocative about, you know, an abominable snowman. It's not just some some mammal walking through the woods.
David
Like,
Attenborough agrees with you, Jay. In fact, he was once quoted as saying, I don't have the exact quote, right? You can look it up. He sees no reason why there couldn't be something like an abominable snowman or a Yeti in existence. He said that.
Yeah, but
No,
that's
no.
kind of a weak statement. Yeah, could there be an unknown large primate in the world? Theoretically, probability is getting vanishingly
Yeah.
small as there's
Right.
What haven't we
fewer
discovered?
and fewer pristine forests
Right.
out there.
Other than like the depths of the ocean, what land creature have we
No, there's
that would be that size that we have yet to discover?
Well, that size is tricky. but
That's the
there-
problem.
That's the problem. There are still like deep forests in Southeast Asia or
and
whatever
and
that-
small creatures.
Then you
Yeah.
wouldn't,
Sure.
right? But nobody with their
Absolutely.
cell phones, or nobody would be out there with their cameras getting footage of these things. So that, right?
Also, there are parts of the forest where no one's been, and then when scientists go there, they find all kinds of new stuff: lizards and insects and frogs and stuff. But yeah,
Spiders
sure.
even.
and maybe even small mammals. But and like a breeding population of 6 foot tall, 7 foot tall
Bipeds.
primates.
Come
that's-
on. I mean, they tend to leave trails. I mean,
can't- because-
they break one branch in their lifetime at least.
And the
it's just-
abominable snowman would leave tons of trails in all that snow.
of course they would.
He's just so much cooler than the run of the mill
scat.
Bigfoot.
Oh
it's
gosh,
easy-
Yeah,
it's
the poop
easy
would
to
be
see-
sticking out like a sore thumb.
Easy to see Yeti scat against the snow. Yeah.
the proof is in the tasting
That's
of.
true.
Oh, never mind.
Oh my God.
What
Yeah.
else
Alright,
is
so-
going on in the world?
I lost 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow,
Jay.
20?
20 pounds. I was basically all my COVID weight is now gone.
I'm
Thank
still
you.
You're
working
back to
off
square
mine.
one. Is that how to look at it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm back to where I was, 14 months ago. And I think I'm going to go 10 more because I was still overweight. When I say overweight, not crazy, but like, I'd
Not
like to go
obese,
down. Let me
but-
see how low I can get.
That's great, Jay. 20 pounds. That's nothing to sneeze at. Good job.
No, nothing at
It's
all.
been hard.
Yeah, I'm still working on mine.
I was telling Steve yesterday, I actually fell off the wagon hard twice.
Mm-hmm.
But like you ate a whole cake or something.
Yeah, I ate a whole giant box of Costco-sized cereal.
A whole box, people.
Yeah.
A whole box.
So with Costco, if you ever bought cereal at Costco, you open up the cardboard box and there's 2 giant bags of
Yeah.
cereal in there, right? So I ate one of those giant bags, which is essentially like twice the family size of a family size box of cereal that you'd get at the supermarket, a normal supermarket. Yeah, and I ate it all. And I loved every second of it until I felt sick at the end.
How much time did
well.
it take, Jay?
Not long.
Yeah.
One
long.
sitting, right?
Easy. It was easy.
Holy crap, man. That's epic.
I've never felt such a profound level of uncontrollable eating, because I have starved myself, you have to, especially at my age. I'm not I don't have this churning metabolism to back me up with this, losing weight. I'm 52 years old, so my metabolism is incredibly slow compared to what it used to be when I was 20. I remember when I was 20, I could eat 7 bagels, with nothing, and never see an ounce of.
That's like 3 days of calories.
Whoa.
Yeah. But the cereal thing, man, whoa, it was kind of freaky because, when you get crazy hungry, your body takes over. Your brain will just say, you are eating available food right now. And that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
Jay's a serial killer.
Well played, sir.
Nice, Grimbeard.
Yeah, I mean, it was glorious though. I have to admit, there was something like just amazing about eating that much of a sweet food. You know, it was Bob. You know what it was. You'd be very proud of me.
Yeah, it was the peanut butter, the Reese's
Pe-
Puffs.
Peanut butter cup cereal. Yeah,
If you're gonna do it, man, that's one to do it with.
I think that was part of it too. Like if it was like Raisin Bran, I don't think my brain would have like, because I was sitting there and all of a sudden I became aware that it was in the house. It just hit my
Yeah.
conscious mind. Hey, this is over there.
Cereal has that processed sort of aftertaste to me, you know, especially after you've eaten maybe a little too much of it. There starts to be, you can really sense the
That's what the milk is
artificialness
for.
of it. Mm.
Yeah, you're not eating fast enough.
I don't regularly eat cereal. It's not part of my diet.
So check this out, guys. I'm seeing two separate news stories. At first, I thought they were the same news story, but then I read them. They're different.
Uh-huh.
Two different new Homo species discovered.
Yeah, I saw one.
One
They said it might be
in-
closer than Neanderthal.
Yeah, one in China and one in Israel.
That's huge. Wow.
Yeah, the remains of.
Well, not living. Yeah, of course. Yeah, the remains-
yeah. We were just talking about Bigfoot and Yeti and stuff. Just being clear.
And one of them was in really good shape. I think a very extremely well preserved skull. Apparently,
Mhm.
they said it was really
Yeah, this
really
is the Dragon Man skull.
Dragon Man. Yeah,
Dragon.
Yeah.
I got to see that.
But they have to confirm, with that science, that it's actually a new species and not just an existing species.
How big is it?
What's the age, Steve?
146,000 years.
146.
Wow, so that's
Lived in East Asia,
Homo.
found in Northeast China in 1933. Okay, but I guess it was hiding in a drawer somewhere.
Oh my God.
Wow. Yeah, that in itself is kind of interesting. You wonder how many of these things have been collected and are just, sitting in a closet or in a storage container.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting
No one's
and
looked at.
sitting.
Yeah, and then in Israel they found basically a skull cap and a jaw, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's exactly
those-
the two bones you want when you're looking for humans.
Yeah.
Can we construct
Those are-
the rest of the skull based on those two pieces?
No,
Well-
but that's a lot of data though.
Yeah.
The skull cap tells you how big the cranium is, and the
Right.
teeth are. We have a lot
Diagnostic.
a lot of data on teeth, and even subtle changes and the shape of the jaw. I mean, it really gives paleontologists a lot of information.
Can you
So-
also detect kind of what they were eating and then match that to the time into which those vegetables or whatever were around, or grain?
Probably tooth wear was.
I don't think we have
can
that
be
kind of data
calculated.
that we can
Like
do that,
age
but-
and tooth wear would
This
be
is also
helpful.
140 to 120,000 years ago, but this was again found in Israel. This is the Nesher Ramla Homo type, they're calling it. Okay. The thing is, I'm sure there were tons of subspecies, all over the world at that time.
Would make sense.
It's a question of how finely, or like lump or splitter thing again, like how finely are we going to divide? Because species is a vague, fuzzy concept to begin with, right? There's no sharp demarcation line between a
Right.
subpopulation and a species. Yeah.
I mean, the general difference though is right that you can't reproduce, and
But even that's vague.
and even produce fertile young. But yeah, but
Well, that's vague too.
yeah, but not quite as vague.
What about if you can share genes through an intermediary species? Right? Does
Could you?
Wow,
that make you the same species or not?
that's a lot of fun sex time going on back
Yeah.
then.
Well, think about dogs. Like a Chihuahua could swap genes, can combine genes with a Newfoundland, but probably not directly.
Right, you would.
But they
need-
can't
Can
do
Unless it's
intermediaries.
a very popular Chihuahua.
Yeah.
So could a really big dog impregnate a very small mother dog and kill it from the birth?
I mean, I don't know.
Right, like
I doubt that. It's probably a case of that happening somewhere, but I've never heard of it.
It sounds totally reasonable.
Right? Come on, Evan.
Right.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Nothing,
I got
got nothing.
on that one.
And yes, I know dogs are the same species, but just as an example of how different, in this case, it would be different breeds can trade genes when they can't do it directly.
Share those genes.
Somebody said all puppies are pretty small when they're born. I guess that makes sense.
How
What do
big
you
is
guys-
a
so
puppy
Steve, are-
Newfoundland when born?
Evan, are you going to our friend Celeste's house tonight? Was that something you're going to?
No, I'm not going. What's going on, Celeste's?
I don't know. I just was told to arrive there. So
That was vague. Okay.
What time?
Well, if you don't turn up later, I'll know where to look for you.
yeah, right. I thought you might. Well, our friend Celeste, Perry's sister, they remodeled their. You saw that they put an addition
Oh
on
yes.
their house.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's been a challenge every week we record our other podcast. Which came first, and we were banging in the background because makes it difficult.
Yeah, so maybe she wants us to take a look at that or something. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. And yeah. No, I wasn't invited. Apparently, I don't rate.
Mhm.
So you'll
Well,
send
now
me
I
pictures.
feel awkward. I mean, my out is I don't know anything about it other than I was told to show up there when we're done. That's it. So
Oh, maybe she's maybe it's like a murder mystery kind of thing. She's
yeah, unless you're the victim, right? So I wanted to tell you guys. So that the Boba Fett show is coming out. It's a spin-off of
What's
The
it called?
Mandalorian, which is a spin-off of just Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about The Mandalorian and how now that this character was essentially like, let's make a cool looking character. You know what I mean? They had a bunch of different designs, and I guess Lucas picked that one as the one that he liked. And all of this, all the lore about them came afterwards. Like I guess when
Yes.
when we first saw him, there was no such thing as a Mandalorian. That came up afterwards, right? So
Yeah.
if I'm correct, I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
By who?
Well, I think the popularity
novels?
of that
Gotta read
character.
the books to find out for sure, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, but you're saying when Empire Strikes Back came out and Boba Fett was just a bounty hunter.
It's a
How much
background character.
backstory?
Yeah, there was hardly
What's
any
that?
backstory.
Yeah, I don't,
yeah. Well, actually, did you know that Boba Fett first appeared in the Christmas special?
Oh, did he? That's why
Yep.
no one knows who he was when he showed up.
you mean before the Empire?
Yeah, they just made a design. They had all these designs. The creatives were doing a ton of design work and coming up with thousands of concepts and everything. So I guess that everybody liked that design, but there was no lore. There was nothing there, and then
Yeah.
it was all kind of retrofit into the whole thing. And now we're gonna get. So there's a ton of Mandalorian information out there now because of books, extended universe and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
But we're gonna get a lot during this season. We're gonna learn a lot. Because I always thought that Boba Fett was not a Mandalorian. Right?
Why?
No, I
I was under the
no, I
impression.
think he's a Mandalorian, but the thing is, I mean, again, the probably the Star Wars show that backfilled more of the Mandalorian lore than anything else was Star Wars Rebels, the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
And because one of the main characters is a Mandalorian, but there's like many different Mandalorian, I don't know if they call it, I forget what they call
Myths?
them, tribes or whatever that,
Yeah.
with their own traditions and their own, history and everything. So there's a lot of complexity there, and I think Boba Fett comes from one of the groups that was wiped out,
Yeah.
and but that doesn't mean that all Mandalorians are wiped out. There were others who are still floating around. But one thing that's universal is that you can't wear that armor if you're not a Mandalorian.
Right. That's the rule. Like they will collect it.
Yeah.
Oh,
they
you
will
mean
probably
like
collect it?
it's
Yeah,
a
probably
violation of the code
over your
and
grave.
They'll come hunt you and
Yeah,
correct
the
you.
They will
metal.
hunt you
Yeah, the
down,
metal's-
kill you, and take back
You will
the
suffer
armor.
correction.
Well, the Mandalorian. Remember, like in the season 2 of the Mandalorian, Mando wasn't like he was giving the guy an opportunity to hand over the armor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It wasn't like you have committed sacrilege and we must execute you. It was like, give it to me and everything will be okay. If you don't,
and walk
you're
away,
in a
yeah.
world of hurt. And I think that's more reasonable than end up just, randomly killing people. Like if you kill a Mandalorian, what do you do with his armor? Leave it? No, you take it. That metal it's made out of is precious.
Well, that's why.
You would sell
That's
it.
why they want the armor back. It's half the reason is that it's the metal that it's
commodity.
made out of.
I'd say it's 89% of the reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that
I mean, blaster shots bounce off of that stuff. I mean, but of course, as they flesh out in the Star Wars Rebels, there's a critical flaw in that metal.
Really?
And if
I don't
you
know it. What is
about it? If you know about it,
Midichlorians?
you can
wait,
exploit
Steve,
it.
you know about this critical flaw and the Mandalorians have not come to get you?
Yeah.
Because I don't even want to know.
That's right.
Don't tell me. What did they tell you what the flaw is?
Yeah, Beskar. They do. They say, in fact,
Beskar, that's it.
like one of the Mandalorians has to exploit this vulnerability to defeat the Mandalorians who were fighting on the side of the Empire. I think I forget exactly how you activate it, but there's some kind of frequency or whatever that you could like even produce in an area of effect that would cause the armor to heat up and cook you. Like, so if you know that frequency, you could incapacitate an army of Mandalorians.
Very cool.
Oh, you'd hack
Yeah.
them, basically.
Yeah,
It's a hack.
yeah.
Somebody in the chat wrote the Star Wars holiday special is what happens when cocaine happened. That's awesome.
Okay. Maybe.
Pretty nasty flaw.
So yeah, that is a nasty flaw, and you think that they would be able to,
Counter
figure
it.
it out pretty quickly, right? You just, run through the frequencies. So I want to ask our audience a question. So Ian and I were talking about how visible are we in the chat, right? Or not in the chat, but in this live stream. I'm curious to know how many people are watching us on their cell phone versus a tablet or a PC, which gives you a lot more space. So if you wouldn't mind, in the chat right now, could you just type in, phone, tablet, or PC, just so we have an idea of who's watching us on what.
Why do you care?
Because if most people are watching us on a phone,
Oh, you're
then
gonna
we-
you're gonna resize us?
yeah, I think our faces should be bigger. So far I'm seeing PC, mostly PC.
Laptop, PC, tablet. Not very many phones. Yeah, almost no phones. Two.
All
I've
right,
seen
that's
so far.
interesting.
There's an iWatch.
Oh, there's a bunch of phones now. Yeah, all clumped together.
Hey, what does that mean?
We're
You know,
at
I mean,
Since they're
typically
slower.
clumpy,
the
Man was clumpy.
the typical answer is that the majority of people are watching things on their phone.
That's not what I'm seeing here.
Yeah. So the next question is, and we got to figure out how we'd like you to answer.
We can
You
do
know,
a
I want to
straw
know
poll.
if
We don't have
the
to do
audience
this chat.
feels that they can see our faces. Are we big enough? Because we could make our faces bigger. We could reformat the look. So I guess the answer is, this is what I'd like you to do. If you feel like we're big enough, just type in yes, and if we're not, type in no. If we're big enough, type in yes. Big enough, someone wrote. Please follow the instructions. I'm trying to
Yes.
don't see now
I
they're
can-
doing. Now
someone
they're going
wrote-
off
I
the
can do
rails.
a
There we
straw
go.
poll
Someone
if you
wrote-
want to do a straw poll.
Yeah, why don't we
That's a
do
little
that?
more
Oh,
accurate.
Let's do
straw
that,
poll.
Ian.
Get hard numbers.
I'm seeing lots of yeses. This is very good.
No, we
This
want
makes me very
confirmation
happy.
bias. Don't give us hard data. We have no wiggle room then.
Some people are just listening. They don't even look at us.
My God, people are still typing in things other than yes. or no.
You're pretty
Oh
big.
my God!
YouTube app appears on phone has less leads.
Somebody wrote maybe. Come on, Dylan. Thanks, dude. That's useful information. All right, Ian's gonna make a poll real quick. And
someone
who
wrote 40s.
gave us $10? Somebody
40s.
donated $10.
Yeah, thank you.
Wait, which question did you want to ask first?
I want that. The most important thing is, does the audience in general think that our faces are big enough the way that it's formatted now? Meaning we don't have to change anything. So if you feel good about
So
the
we should say,
format,
are the novella faces normal sized or not?
what about
or
Ian?
hideously
I mean, what about
disformed.
What about Evan? Evan is a delight. Okay,
Aw.
there you go. Bigger faces, smaller faces.
This is my normal resting position.
This is gonna be somehow worse than just asking. Here we go.
Right, here's the quiz.
Here's the not the quiz. The
Whatever. It's quizzy like.
Quizish.
we could also just make Jay's face bigger if everybody wants that.
Nah, they get enough from me. You kidding me?
Well, why is it?
I'm the pinnacle of male beauty. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you.
That's what I always used to say to you, Ev.
I know, but you haven't said it lately.
Evan, you are the pinnacle of male beauty.
Thank you.
Okay.
Jay and I built a house together.
We did. That was I think about that. I drive. Evan, I live like a mile from that.
I know you do. I used
House.
to live. I get that totally. I know.
Is that house still standing?
Oh, it's still
Yeah.
standing. Yeah. In fact,
Yeah.
they put up a detached garage. They did a bunch of stuff to the property. I have on my wall. You guys got to come visit it. I have the original, the blueprints
Plans?
of the
Yeah.
land, right? That the drawings of where everything was going to be, because it was bare land. We built the house from scratch,
Yep.
and they're kind of, I like them. I consider them works of art, so I framed them and hung them on my wall. It's very cool.
That's part of your the thing I think that you love maps about, right?
I
Like
do
it has
love
that
maps.
vibe.
Yeah, definitely.
That was a lot of fun. I mean, you and I had a fun experience together doing that.
Yeah, we were the co-general contractors.
Yep.
And I think that
Yeah.
was one of your first projects, if not your first, working for your dad's company.
I mean, I worked when I was a kid on the dump truck, and I did.
Yeah, but as a GC,
Yeah, it
That was
definitely
a
was. I mean,
prefab.
yes,
That
it
was a
was.
prefab,
That's
yeah.
right. We drove out to New York to visit it.
we found out a lot of cool things about prefab houses back then because I had to do all this research. One, they're actually stronger than normal built houses because they have to be roadworthy. So they're actually constructed a lot more. They have a lot more fortitude.
And crane worthy. Remember, they're just
Yeah,
flying up on
yeah.
the crane, getting put into the position. That was so cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I remember that. That was an exciting day.
That
I was
was.
there like an hour early waiting for that to
Yeah, a
happen.
little tense, but it was cool. Everything went very well.
I helped you build your sidewalk.
Oh, yes, you did.
Wasn't the
Yes,
whole house.
and I
but
returned the favor, and I helped you in a day install your sidewalk, your
Mhm,
walkway.
that's right. Right.
But then it got all grown over, and
Yeah. But we have a new one now. I actually had professionals put in an actual,
Did the straw poll not post?
What are you saying? My work wasn't
I
professional.
didn't see it come up. I didn't see it
Oh,
post.
I posted it and it didn't. It must not have sent. Okay, here's the straw poll for real. Sorry,
Okay.
everybody.
Somebody asked, "Why is Steve always top left?"
hey,
That's the first position.
Yeah,
Top and to the left.
he pays me
Top.
for that spot.
all right. Want some other news?
Yeah, let's do it.
So Branson got approval to sell tickets for commercial space flights
That's great.
on the Virgin.
How much? Did they set the price yet?
I'm sure it's got on Virgin Galactic rocket plane.
Rocket
So yeah,
plane.
so that's a good milestone for space tourism. It says 600 people on the waiting list. So like already agreed
Sure.
to pony up.
That's really awesome.
That 600 people who have paid deposits. It actually put deposits down to get on that list.
And so,
Now-
what are the details of this particular flight? Is it just one of these parabolic
No, I don't
flights,
think
essentially,
so.
that we've been hearing about, or this is real
Um,
low orbit,
Low
like
Earth orbit.
around the planet?
it gets to the edge of space.
Okay, so it'll be a parabolic, right?
So you will see, a huge part of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
That would be amazing. So you are floating in blackness when you get up to that point.
So
Wow.
it's suborbital still.
Okay, yeah, no
Um,
orbit, right?
Yeah.
Still, I mean, nothing else like it.
I wonder how much of a rocket
you're an
ride it is. I mean, does that plane go up on a really steep angle? Is it going up like this? Is it going up like this for a long time? I
Well-
wonder.
Remember, it's more. It takes off as like a plane.
Yeah, but then how vertical does the thing go? That would be a hell
Mhm.
of a ride if it goes pretty steep.
Yeah, it holds 2 pilots and 6 passengers. 6 passengers.
Yeah, somebody brought up
And
in the
8
chat. Somebody
barf
asked,
bags.
"Will they be able to see that the Earth isn't flat?" That's interesting.
Yes,
you know,
they
we
will
we
be.
will be. Yeah, but we will be able to maybe we do a fundraiser and send up some flat earthers.
No.
No.
They will
No, no.
be absolutely
They deserve
able
to
to
live
see the
on their
curvature of the
fantasy.
Earth.
Yeah.
You will be able to see the curvature of the Earth from the height they are. So that means everybody they take up, they have to bring in on the conspiracy, right?
That's right.
Yeah, they get fully indoctrinated. They're like
Yeah.
brand champions of that conspiracy. So did you guys hear that McAfee died? The guy that invented McAfee antivirus.
Oh yes,
He-
lot of chat about that one.
He was
Did he die from a
nutty.
virus?
That guy was nutty. No, he killed
He died
himself.
on Moira.
I read he killed himself.
Well, that's the word, yes. But of course, the conspiracy theorists all say that that wasn't the case. That he died of that's the official word. But from what I read, he said, and I don't follow this really, but from what other people have said and from what I've read, that other people said that he said that if I'm not suicidal, so if I die and they say it was suicide, it was not suicide. And apparently his wife spoke to him the day before, and she's gonna, have a lawsuit coming or something because she feels that it was, it needs to be investigated. At least
Somebody said he
she's
died of
suspect.
a virus. Yeah, I mean, I'm suspect of him and his entire life. You know
Well,
what I mean?
yeah, that's just it.
so-
I mean, what can you really, what can you believe in it all? It's so bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a nutty guy. He really took his money and had a good time with it,
And his product sucks.
I read that you are better not installing McAfee antivirus because it makes your computer more vulnerable.
What?
Did
Yeah.
you vet that, or is that just hearsay now?
I've read it many times. I mean,
More vulnerable? I don't know about that, but it tends to interfere with other things going on, right? At least that's my.
Yeah, but think about it this way: you're
Neophyte
installing a
kind
piece
of
of software
opinion
that's
on it.
getting between, the internet and your computer, right? But what if the software isn't written well enough to not have its own vulnerabilities? That's what they're saying. That
Mhm.
that the antivirus gave them pathways to your computer that they didn't even know about.
Yeah. I haven't used it in probably over a decade.
Oh my gosh, no way. I haven't. Didn't have good experiences with it, But I'm not. I admit I'm not a computer
I use
knowledgeable
malware
person. Use what?
Yeah,
malware?
me too.
Malware.
Malware
bytes.
bites.
Yeah, malware bytes. I've used that. That's good.
How's that?
Ian, what do you use?
That's good. That's really good.
I
That's a
made-
lot bigger.
People said they want bigger faces.
Bigger face.
Okay.
Bigger
There you go.
faces.
Yes.
But
maybe
now we
you
have
should
smaller
zoom-
chats.
Well,
Oh yeah, look at that. Well,
But I keep my chats separate anyway. I just
Ian,
have
can
them
you-
separate.
Ian, can you give another straw poll? Would you like to see larger chats or smaller chats?
Okay.
And just keep doing a straw poll,
After
tweak the
straw.
interface,
Right.
straw poll, tweak the interface.
Maybe a
Until
straw
it's
poll about straw
perfect.
polls.
The chats are actually more
Straw polls.
readable
Do
now.
people like straw polls?
That's
I mean,
right.
the chat is just for everybody else to recognize that there's YouTube and Facebook and Twitch and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Most people are on YouTube, although
Keep taking polls until you get to the end, and then you can say
Yes,
it
sir.
was the
Right away.
last straw.
Okay. It was. I get it. Ba-dum. Ba-dum.
Someone's questioning Evan is delightful. Rats. Rats.
All right, Evan.
Would you like me to not be delightful? Is that
No,
what
I'd
you're-
like you to solve your puzzle.
Oh, my puzzle. My puzzle has apparently 3 answers to it.
But
Okay.
3 that are correct, or just
3 that are correct, and there may be more. I was going for 2 because I have to give you the backstory, and then we'll talk about the answer. So today it was around. I got home. I came home early from work. It was about 1:30. Had to run back out. I asked my wife Jennifer. I said, "Do you need anything while I'm out?" She says, "I need a prescription at the drugstore. If you could pick it up for me." Sure. And then she happens to say it's going to cost $1.19.
Mm-hmm.
So I told her, I said, "Hey, did you know that that's the exact amount of change in U.S. currency that you can have in your pocket without being able to make exact change for $1?"
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Where the hell do you store that?" And I said, "I don't know. It's just one of those things you learn about, earlier in life." But it was kind of cool, but what the number always stuck with me. Anytime I see $1.19. I remember, okay, so that's the most amount of money you can have in change and not have exact change for $1. So it's 3 quarters, it's 4 dimes, and 4 pennies. No combination there. You can change and give you $1 and change. So I scrapped the earlier puzzle I had for today. I'll do it in 2 weeks because we're going to be off next week. When I think back in 2 weeks. And I decided, all right, that I'm going to throw that out there today and see if anyone guesses that. And certainly people have been guessing it. There are plenty of correct answers on that one. Now, also some people, so I would have accepted that that is the official answer. I would
So
have
that's what I'm
also
saying. That's the
accepted
largest amount of money you can have in change
coins.
without being able to make it equal exactly $1.
Right. That's right.
If you had any more than that, and you'd be able to make a subset of those coins into $1.
That is correct. Yes. It's 3 quarters, 4 dimes, and 4 pennies. $1.19.
That's interesting.
So anytime I see that number, that's all I think about.
Yes, that is a very interesting, because it's probably the most worthless piece of trivia I've ever heard.
Isn't it though?
Right?
But memorable.
I guess so.
Now, so I would have accepted that as the correct answer. I would have accepted if anyone had guessed that my wife told me that was the cost of her prescription today. That would also be a correct answer. And there are also several people who are suggesting that this is today's exchange rate for exactly €1, $1.19 in US to the euro. I didn't have a chance to look that up while we were recording, but I'll take that as a correct answer as well. So congratulations, everyone.
Wait, hold on now. It is $1.19.
It
is
is
exactly $1.19.
There you go.
€1 to 1 is $1.19.
So congratulations.
What a coincidence.
Yeah. Or is it?
And
Yeah,
it's
that's
0.86
kinda spooky.
pounds sterling. But it is
sterling.
$1.19. Usually the dollar is there's that's about right.
Yeah. You see, but now people will walk away from today, anytime they see now for the rest of their lives $1.19 and they still have their faculties about them, they will remember this useless fact. Thank you. You're welcome.
That was delightful.
Ian, what's that? What is that guy dancing next to Bob?
I don't know what you're talking about. That's
Bob, who's dancing
that's
next to
something.
He disappears
Bob's doing.
anytime I go to look at him.
Yeah. Oh,
I can't see him now, but now I can see him. Can't see him now. Now I can see him. How's
you?
that
Good
work?
point, Paulette. Ignoring $1 coins. Yes, I should have said it had to be in the under $1 coin. But you wouldn't need change for $1 if you had $1 coin.
So you know what's funny? I am so cashless now. Like, I have no way to. I can't tip it. Like I got my car washed, right? I couldn't tip the guys. I had no cash. I picked up people at the train station, and somebody was trying to hit me up for free money, and I literally said to the guy, "Hey man, sorry, I don't have cash on me anymore." So it's interesting. Like I just don't carry paper money at all.
So how are we
anymore.
going to tip in a cashless world?
Chickens, eggs,
What about
produce.
Venmo? I mean, is there any? Are people tipping cashlessly now? Like,
Yeah, you could tip
Well,
with
yeah,
Venmo.
sure. You
the
can.
porter brings your luggage up to your hotel room, and what do you do?
My
Say,
brother-in-law told me that he saw a guy wearing a T-shirt that had his Venmo on it. It's on the street to tip him through Venmo.
I think.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, although it's not necessarily convenient, you can also tell, say, the hotel or something, hey, I would like to tip, and they'll take the tip for you and make sure that the employee gets it, supposedly.
Yeah, I do agree that we should eliminate tipping and just pay people a salary that they deserve.
I agree with
Living
that.
wage would be nice.
But
Yeah.
while it exists, you can't say I don't believe in tipping. But they're still getting underpaid, and they're still
You have to
depending
do
on
it.
tips.
Knock, thank
in
you
the
very
meantime,
much.
so
You have to do it.
Somebody just tipped us $100, guys.
No way.
Knock is the currency.
Oh,
100 knock?
Paul Wadar.
so who did it?
Paul Wadar. Paul.
Paul, thank
I
you.
think no. It PALWADOR.
They tipped us
Paul
100
Wilder.
knock.
Yeah.
What's a knock?
Norwegian kroner. I think.
Yeah.
Kroner.
What's the conversion on that? How many bitcoins?
Yeah.
Either way, thank
We
you
take
very much.
bitcoins. We
Yeah.
do
By
not
the way,
take
has
Dogecoin.
anyone
Gen
made
coins.
a cryptocurrency called Quatloos? Because if
Oh my
not,
God, we
guys,
should
we
totally
have to
do
do
that.
that. Can we make our
Wow.
own
Now-
cryptocurrency and call
Yeah,
it?
you
Yeah.
can do your own.
Why do I have
I
a
would-
feeling you might hear from, it's Paramount
What?
or CBS or something about
Uh,
that?
Once you
they
validate it,
We'll
there's
spell
nothing
it
you could do. It's out
slightly
there.
different.
Yeah, KWAL.
that would be awesome. I would consider actually investing.
How do you
Quatlus.
spell that? Quatlus. I don't even know.
Let me look it up.
Bob, it's all about the blockchain, right? Quatloot blockchain.
Quatlus.
Oh, forget it. Invest in that. Yeah.
How about GenCoin?
Oh, it exists. Quatlu price today.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, it does?
Of course.
I mean, I couldn't have been the first person to think of that.
Yeah, you could have been.
There's a mummy. That's a horrible mummy costume, I gotta say.
It's not a mummy, it's a Yeti.
Oh boy.
Well,
Yeah, it's a Yeti.
it's where, yeah, its clothes are tattered or something.
What? Yeah.
It certainly doesn't look okay.
I like it. Jay, you can use Imperial credits. Maybe that hasn't been
Imperial
taken
credits.
Well, I would like to make sure that the person that donated that money is properly thanked.
Yet. Yes.
Thank you. We really do appreciate
Very
it.
much appreciated. Very kind. Thank you.
Who watched Loki episode 3?
I have only
I
watched
did.
the first one.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Loving
we should
it.
not talk about this because there's a lot of people here who probably haven't seen
Yep.
it.
Loving it.
spoilers.
So let's talk
All
about this
spoilers.
because Loki is an awesome show. I want to tell you detailed plot nuances that I noticed during the
Yeah,
third
that big
episode.
reveal. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
No, but if you're not watching Loki, I
Why?
would recommend it.
Please do.
I've enjoyed all 3 episodes.
Okay, which format, which platform?
It's on
Disney,
Disney
Plus.
Plus.
Disney Plus.
Okay, Disney Plus.
So stylistically, have you guys heard that they call it cassette punk?
For
Set
what?
Punk.
Cassette.
Futuristic 70s vibe.
Mm.
Is called cassette punk.
Why?
Cassette punk. Like instead of steampunk, it's
Steampunk.
cassette punk.
Yeah.
Like 80s, 90s
Okay.
or something?
Yeah.
And so it's futuristic 70s.
I don't like it.
What do you mean you don't like it? It's freaking probably one of the best aesthetics ever created.
No, he doesn't
I'm
like
not,
the
I'm
name.
not saying I didn't like the aesthetic. I don't like the name.
Well, what would you call it?
I mean, disco punk would be better than cassette punk.
Yeah, but Disco's got baggage, you know.
Yeah, you can always.
True.
Why isn't it 8-track punk?
what-
Yeah, why isn't it Betamax versus VHS?
Is eight-track more 60s or 70s?
Cassette
70s.
futurism.
8-track is 70s, without a doubt. We're pretty much mostly gone by the 80s, I think.
Cassette punk. Ugh. Not digging it.
Cassette punk.
I
Yeah,
like
I
it.
guess
I
it's
think it's
like
cool.
Yeah, what TV from the 1970s predicted the future would look like. 15 cassette punk ideas.
Whoever the designers are for that show, though, I mean, standing ovation for me, man.
Yeah, they did a great job.
Looks that good.
All right, let's click over to the quiz.
Yes. Let us.
We have a nice quiz today. Then we'll take some questions.
Okay. Let me just.
So go in
make
your
it real
permanent
quick.
records.
Yeah, Ian will just go get that lined up. All right, so like if we were going to rename cassette punk, Bob, but what's iconic that has it? It'd be better if it's a one-syllable word.
Something that screams 70s.
Yeah.
Well,
Bell
what's?
bottom punk.
I mean, you know, you go off of steampunk. I mean, it's based on steam technology. So what's a popular type of energy or technology from the 70s?
Analog.
I would.
That's kind of the idea, that, and in fact, we should include a reference to cassette punk in our book, guys, because we do talk about steampunk. We're talking about the futurism book, because the idea is you take an existing technology and you extrapolate it into the future without accounting for disruptive new technologies.
Mhm.
So it's like if you were, in 1880 saying, oh, what's it going to be like in 100 years? We're going to have super advanced steam technology, like these really elaborate machines that could do these awesome things. That's where you get steampunk from. But it's the same exact thing that happened in the 60s and 70s, pre-digital world. They took their analog world and they
just
imagined a future
expanded it.
world with
Yeah.
super sophisticated analog devices.
Right.
And
they
it's
couldn't-
absurd, to anyone living in the post-digital time. But that's cassette punk. That's what that is. I think it's fine.
The audience came up with some cool ones. Like they came up with diesel punk.
Yeah. Somebody in our Discord, Kedril, said polyester punk.
Polyester punk.
Yeah. I like
That's
that
pretty
one.
cool.
Oh, it's more focusing on the fashion than
Fashion,
the
yeah.
technology.
But the
Floppy disk punk is more. Isn't that more like an '80s?
Early 80s.
Somebody said
Early-
groove punk.
depends
That's
if it's
cool.
a
I like groove
7-inch.
punk.
Yes, I like groove punk too.
Or analog punk just cuts more to the chase a little bit. Sure. But even Star Trek, right? If you look at Star Trek, the original series, that's cassette punk.
Pollution
Totally.
punk. That's right.
Yeah.
Even though they didn't have cassettes in the 60s.
Well, but they had. What about on Star Trek? It's the same idea though. Whatever, that was the '60s version. But they had, like, they're feeding these little discs into the food synthesizer, and was it the pilot where they like had a printout of like the
Yes.
bridge computer is printing out information on paper?
Well, like on a dot matrix printer.
Paper.
Yeah, and-
There's
And
not
they
even a
have-
garbage.
like the
coming through now,
dials of
sir.
the analog dials tracking
Oh yes, knobs.
tracking stuff.
There is no garbage cans on the Enterprise, right? There's no place to even throw away garbage.
They just phaser everything, Shay.
Could you call
It'll
it
be
tape
hauled
punk?
away as,
As
garbage.
All the way as garbage.
Yeah, tapes.
And that's
I
when
think.
you
tape. Punk.
that's when you hit him.
Yeah.
So if you haven't already, go to darkenergy.games.
Oh, yeah, I guess I
in
gotta
the
go there.
chat. And also, I sent our personal link
You did.
in the chat.
Oh, it's so private.
And we'll get
From
right-
the Ian.
very private
Better get on there.
from the E.
Go to.
What would we do without Ian?
All right, let's see if we have any questions. Oh boy, that's a long one. I'd like an opinion on balancing traditional indigenous knowledge and science, specifically how to incorporate ecological knowledge in a respectful way. That was actually from last week.
Oh boy, that's kind of a big
That's- yeah,
topic.
that's kind of a big topic. Sorry to throw that at you.
But I think that's the goal. Is to be respectful of indigenous knowledge, but that doesn't mean you can replace it for actual science, or that they have some secret way of knowing about the world that science doesn't work for. You know what I mean? And again, you can respect their culture. You can respect their history.
Yeah.
And even their relationship with their local environment and the plants and animals there, etc., without saying that science is colonialism and it's going to rape them and all that crap. I think that's nonsense. Science is universal, regardless of what culture you come from.
This guy's talking about cassette futurism that puts it in from the 80s, though, not the 70s.
Yeah, I'm just saying that
Yeah.
aesthetic in the Loki show is 70s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
And I lived through both of those decades, so
All right, we got 200 people, and I posted the link again, so people are still joining. It seems like. Here's
Join
a question from a Canadian in Ontario. We're being told that if you took Pfizer or Moderna for your first dose, you can take the other for your second. We're also being told that if you took AstraZeneca for your first, you can take Pfizer or Moderna for your second. However, I've been hearing from families and friends in the U.S. that you should not do that. What's the science?
Well,
I think it's
that-
too soon. It's too soon to say. They're doing studies on it, and they are showing some very interesting results. So
Yeah, the original recommendation was you don't know because it hasn't been studied. So why chance it when you could just take it the way it was meant to take? But I think for practical reasons, they're starting to move in that direction. I just saw that. What's her name? Angela Merkel. Yeah, she got the Moderna jab after the AstraZeneca jab. Okay. I don't know.
it could be better because one vaccine will sensitize you, will defend against a specific part of like the spike protein or the COVID virus itself, and then another vaccine will be more effective against another part. So it could be better. Some of the results that I've seen are encouraging, actually very encouraging.
But it's not. They're not recommending that, are they?
Not officially. I think
words,
it's too soon to officially, but they are looking at it. They are doing studies.
Yeah.
With people.
I mean, I suspect it'll be fine. Why wouldn't it?
But that would be cool if it was actually even a little bit better.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't that send throngs of people out to go get multiple jabs?
Yeah, but that's okay. I mean, as long as they need to, like if they're getting there too, then
Well, yeah. What if some people say I got both my J&J, both my Pfizer's? Now I want the Modernas.
oh yeah, well no, you don't get your third one till everyone's gotten their second one.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to make sure everyone's. Yeah. You
All
just
right, I
got to
think we
get more
got it.
people to
Gotta
want to
vaccinate
go
the
get
world
it.
first.
Yeah. Well,
Somebody named Casey wants to know if they have to sign up to play the game.
You don't have to, I believe, but it helps to make an
But it's
account.
strongly
from what I
encouraged.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
if you
right.
do, then you can track your
Yeah.
quizzes over time.
And
Unless
then we
you
could
have
track you
foundation.
wherever you are.
that's right.
Okay, let's go ahead and synchronize.
Okay.
There's a big synchronize button, so when I say click, we're going to click that button. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, click.
Oh no. Oh, thank
There it
goodness.
is.
I clicked too soon.
Speaking of which, that reminds me, Frank wanted us to tell everybody about the Minecraft server, which
Mhm.
I forget the URL, but Jay, do you know it off the top of your head?
I can tell you in 1 second. Let me look it up.
It's like something skeptics.social.
Here come the numbers.
Um,
I'm on there. Like it's the only game I play now because it's very easy. I don't have to like maintain continuity. You know.
Yeah,
Like, I
right. Just
kinda-
pop on there for a few minutes if you want to. I pop on every now and then. Although recently I've been playing this Portal Reloaded. You guys played that? Portal Reloaded?
No, no.
You
You
know
told me
Portal
about it. I want
2?
to play it.
Portal's a
Or
great
else.
game. Fantastic game. So this is a fan-made sequel to Portal called Portal Reloaded, where they add the dimension of time. So now you have like two portals that link up together, but you also have a time portal that you could go through to take you 20 years forward or backward in time. So
Yeah.
you're playing the puzzles in two time periods. That make sense?
That does make
Yeah,
sense.
that's
It's really cool.
So you have to use that time dimension in order to solve the puzzle.
Oh, that makes sense.
So it's good. It's nice. It's a nice variation on what's an excellent game. About
So
two-thirds.
it's minecraft.skeptics.social. That's the server.
okay. Minecraft.skeptics.social. I think this is it. It's also in the Discord. If anybody's in the Discord, you can find it there. I believe it's channel too.
Discord, that cord.
Discord.
It's pretty cool what they built. What was funny was one of my favorite things that I saw that somebody built actually happened to be built by Steve's daughter, Julia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that
she
was
built a
cool.
lot of the some of the infrastructure there.
How long did it take her?
I don't know.
All right, let's start the game. And
Okay, but
away we go.
We
As soon as I
go.
press the quiz. A little loud. That's fine.
I love it.
it makes it official.
Yeah. All right, and we're starting right now. What is exobiology? The study of life outside the sea, the study of life at hydrothermal vents, the study of bacteria, the study of life in outer space or other planets.
I'm going to turn the music on. I think this was an easy question.
That's easy.
Ask me your questions. I'm not afraid.
So we could talk about it because Frank
Well-
fixed the time issue.
Did he?
That's what he
You
said.
sure about that?
Yeah, just about.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ian.
It's the study of life in outer space or other planets.
Exo.
It's like exoplanets.
So,
Yes.
They haven't found it yet, but they're looking.
Exoplanets have exolife.
Yeah, when we actually discover some, that will really be a good boon to that field.
Yeah, that'll.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep,
so
growth
is it
industry.
endobiology?
That's when they can start getting paid.
All right. What is the magnification of an electron microscope? 50,000, 100,000, 5 million, or 10 million times?
Ooh, that's a good damn question.
Yeah,
That's a good question. I mean, I also don't think it's one answer, but
Right? Why doesn't it have a? Oh, must be the maximum magnification.
Yeah, what's the max? What is the max?
Ah, crumbs.
The time issue is
I'm gonna
not
get it
fixed.
wrong,
All right. We'll
but-
just wait a little bit longer to say
Okay.
whether or not.
Oh,
Yeah, I got it wrong.
shit!
Wait, don't
Really?
say it yet. We're gonna wait another
Yeah.
10 seconds.
But
Yeah,
whatever it
just
is, I got it wrong.
Wait till just about before.
like 20.
I like how it yells at me. You chose the wrong answer.
All right, can we talk
With
about
the,
it now?
with the,
I
with the
think so.
frowny
I-
face.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's.
Yeah, so I looked it up on several websites, and they said 10 million magnification.
Wow.
10 millions. That's pretty
That'll
good.
get
no
you
joke.
down there.
No joke.
See those animalcules.
Who's the first person to design models of flying machines? Wright brothers, Leonardo da Vinci, Alberto Santos Dumont, E. Lillian Todd.
Oh gosh, jeez, I don't think it was his
11 seconds time, we'll do the quiz.
first. This guy.
Yeah, you do have to watch the show from the page. I think that's
From
it
the
should be-
page?
yeah, it should be the same. I don't know why it would be different.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about Leonardo da Vinci is that all of his work, his discoveries, you know, were rediscovered like 100 years after he died, but didn't contribute at all to the advancement of human knowledge at
Right.
the time because he didn't tell anybody about it. Like he just was sort of working away. He wasn't engaging with the community of his time.
Yep.
Next question.
What is the fastest fish on Earth? Sailfish, black marlin, mako shark, Atlantic bluefin tuna.
Tuna.
Delicious.
When I say fish, I mean, you know, a fish.
Yeah.
Opposed
As
to what?
As opposed to
A non-fish.
cat.
Oh, really?
Yes.
sailfish.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Gotta wait a little bit longer. But yeah.
No sailfish.
Well, too late. I had a vague memory of it being a marlin, but maybe
Me too.
They can swim 68 miles per hour.
Wow.
Relative to what?
What do you mean relative to what? Relative to speed. you
To
jerk.
the
No. Relative
what
to
if-
a boat going in the opposite direction at 65 would not be impressive.
Who was the first pre-Socratic philosopher to suggest that matter could neither be created nor destroyed? Okay, I'm gonna
Pre-Socratic,
destroy
huh?
this. Anaxagoras,
gosh.
Anaximander, Parmenides. Is that what it is? Pythagoras,
Parmenides.
Parmenides. Is that how it is? Oh yeah, no. I said
Parmenides?
para.
Yep. There's
Parmenides.
cheese named after.
Ooh, really?
No.
Ugh. I was like, I need to try it.
All right, they say we're talking
It's very
too soon again. I
thoughtful.
got to tell
Yes,
Frank
wait.
about this.
Yeah, I don't. It's a little janky.
I don't
sometimes.
understand what the problem is.
It's just I think it drifts as people are on the page. Like, I don't know.
Latency.
We'll see.
I thought it was
latency.
Testicles that did that.
Haha.
Yeah, but that wasn't one of the answers.
All
All
right.
right, go ahead,
It's
Ian.
Parmenides.
Parmenides.
Chicken
Huh?
was his first name.
He also made Parmesan cheese.
Chicken Parmenides.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you. He was a Greek. Okay, I didn't read
That's it?
He was a Greek philosopher of Elaea in southern Italy. Founded Eleatism. No, wait. Whatever, it's the word. One of the leading pre-Socratic
Lady.
schools of Greek thought.
Huh.
515 BCE was when he was born.
BC.
That was a long
or
time
they were
ago.
born.
So all
Yeah,
these
but
guys just kind of stood around, just were talking to each other. That's what they were doing.
Mhm.
Togas.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool. You could do
Well,
that.
there you
if
have
were
it,
wearing a
folks.
toga.
Let's see. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 100s.
Nice. Impressive.
80s and 60s seem to dominate. Actually, 40% seems to be the most common. That may have been a little bit too hard of a quiz.
Yeah, that was tough.
It was challenging.
Anaxagoras thought that the sun was a red hot metal.
That's
He was
cool.
not correct.
Not a bad guess, though.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I mean,
84% of the people watching the show picked Leonardo da Vinci correctly.
See, I was going to guess that.
You should have had Leonardo DiCaprio as another.
Yeah. So it was 5 years ago. I was in Italy. We went to Vinci, and we went and saw his museum, saw his
Yeah.
house. We spent a whole day there, half a day actually, but it was wonderful. It's beautiful. Highly
Yeah.
recommend it.
Oh,
So-
Where
cool.
was this?
Vinci, Italy.
Da Vinci Museum.
Yes, his
What was
museum.
better,
The house
that
he was born in.
or the Mark Twain house in Connecticut?
Oh gosh, that's tough. They're both so
Really?
good. Both so good. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I'll lean towards Italy, but that's a geographic bias.
Yeah.
Because Mark Twain's house is less than an hour.
That was
from here.
fun.
That was fun. I took Richard Saunders when he visited 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, we went not too
To that.
long ago.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, it is interesting. It is like this little snapshot into, the culture of 100 years ago or whatever back then. Just like the way, like what the rooms were used for, and how it was designed to sort of segregate the help from the people living in the house. And,
Yeah, it was like a manor.
and the kids and everything. It's like, yeah, just it was designed with society, the way society was at that time in mind, like, and just things that would be very strange today, But I think that was the house, right, where I might be thinking of a different house I visited, that the stairs were constructed with the illusion to make them look a lot higher, deeper, than they really were. Like
Why?
each railing was a little bit shorter.
I think that's the one. Yeah. There's
Yeah,
a
so you
story
get
about
this
the
when you look
railings.
when you're at the bottom floor and you look up the stairwell, like a winding stairwell. It made the house look much bigger than it was.
Really?
It was a very effective optical illusion.
Yeah, very cool.
Disney does that, making with its architecture,
Yeah.
things get small. If you could go up to that top window, it'd be like this big, be
Yeah.
kind of tiny.
They Willy
Makes
Wonka
it
you.
makes it look
Yeah.
huge. Yeah.
That's called trickery.
Skullduggery.
All right, can we get a question, Ian?
Yeah, Ian.
Sorry. Okay, here's one. Have any of the rogues been killed in a dream? It happens to me a few times a year and gives me hypnagogia.
Hypnagogia?
I've been in situations in which I've been attacked in a dream, but I'm not feeling the effects. Like somebody's pushing me or putting their hands on me or
Yeah.
trying to do harm to me, but I feel nothing. Whereas I know I should be feeling something. I'm aware of that disconnect. That's about
Yeah.
as close as I get.
I died in a cave-in in a
Mhm.
dream.
I think I've received killing blows, and then
Yeah,
woke
I've
up.
been shot in dreams or killed in dreams. But interestingly, so sometimes I can remember a couple of times thinking that, like, all right, now I'm dead, like, even though I'm still
Yeah.
there and acting like I'm alive. But a lot of the times it just morphs into like a LARPing scenario.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right?
that's
Because in LARPs, your character could get killed, but you're still alive, but your character's dead, and it's just kind of fake. And so when that happens in a dream, I think my brain just goes there. It's kind of a
course.
LARP.
It's
It
already
turns into a
conditioned.
LARP death where it's not real. You know?
That's right.
Makes sense.
We are
Yeah.
conditioned.
Next question.
Here's a interesting one. Okay, so this person's asking about. Well, they're saying condolences to the people of the Miami Tower collapse in the
Oh, yeah,
UK
yeah,
in
seriously.
2016. They witnessed the tower block fire that claimed 72 deaths and 223 injuries. Seems to me that most of the blame is deflected because corruption onto anyone, but not the construction companies or lawmakers. They're not asking for a political response necessarily, but a social skeptical one on how to filter the barrage of media misinformation that follows.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, it is a horrible thing that happened. I think they're saying like 150 plus people are
Yeah.
unaccounted for,
Mm.
and only like 5 confirmed dead.
That's not
But-
good.
I'm not sure. People can be trapped even for days, and survive. So I don't know if the nature of the collapse physically means that there might be like a whole floor of people who were trapped or something. But I haven't done a deep dive on the details. So I don't know if it's possible, or they would know by now if there were people trapped under there. But
Yeah, what are they
it's
able
not
to
looking
hear?
good. It's not looking good for the unaccounted
Terrible.
for people.
Which is like
Um,
105 people, I think.
Over 150 is the
Yeah, it
last
could
I
be
heard.
150.
The number
154, I think I
actually-
saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really I hate things like that. They drive me nuts.
Yeah, I remember when the it was 2003 maybe. It was in Rhode Island, the fire at that nightclub where
Oh, that was
Great White
horrible.
was playing, and they didn't know they couldn't establish immediately how many people had died in the fire. You know, some got out, some didn't, but until they were able to get in there days later and kind of do the count and figure out how many people were missing, it turned out to be north of 100 people at that point. But
thought it was
up until then, they were just missing people. That's how they were.
My memory is that like
counting them.
200-300 people died in that
Was it-
fire,
was
and
it
only
that
like
many?
7 or 8 got out. Like very few people got out. Like almost everybody who was down there died. Partly
Yeah.
because they were blocking the fire exit so that people couldn't sneak in. So that was a violation.
Yep.
That was just horrible.
Wow,
Station
that's horrible.
nightclub. 100 dead and 230 injured. 230 injured. 100 dead.
I thought it was more than that.
We got a question. Have any of us seen Rick and Morty season 5, episode 1? Steve and I
Yes.
saw it together on Monday, and it was awesome.
It was good. Yeah, it was a good season 5 opener.
They've held to their standards.
I think
Yeah.
it's getting even better because I mean, just it was so dense with throwaways and information.
You can't watch it once.
You can't get everything in one viewing.
For the first time ever, Steve, I felt like, it should have been a little bit shorter because they just went 1 or 2 steps. Like, what? Another thing is happening? And I actually felt like, oh man, it's a little bit much.
A little overload.
But that's, I think that's just silly thinking. I mean, I loved it. I want to watch it again. And but yeah, because Steve, we even see an episode that we only saw once, like 6 months ago, and we're like, damn, I forget a lot of it because it's just there's so much happening. You can't consolidate everything into long-term memory. It's like, it's like watching it new.
Yeah,
used
it
to-
was like watching it. I haven't watched it since it originally aired.
Yeah, I think
I
The
got to
Simpsons-
rewatch season 4.
when The Simpsons were in their peak many years ago,
Yeah.
I got the same sensation of that. It's like I would sit and watch an episode, have to go back and watch it several times to, pause on things to read that billboard to see what this character was
Yes.
doing in the background to, get the wordplay over. So yeah, I love when there's that much information to be gleaned from a cartoon. Futurama certainly is a lot of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Rick and Morty is definitely the most intense version of that, I think, that I've ever seen in terms of density of stuff happening, for sure.
Next question.
Can any of the rogues solve a Rubik's Cube?
Yeah, I used to.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll say that too. I used to.
Define
Done it
solve.
recently. I mean, back
right.
in the 80s, I figured out how to solve a Rubik's Cube, and I was
The
able
80s is known
to
as
do
Rubik's
it.
Punk.
And I never was able to do it super fast. I could probably do it in like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah. What was interesting though, Steve, tell me if you experienced this. When I picked it up, I picked up a Rubik's Cube like a few years ago, and I tried to solve it. I remembered how to do the first 2 rows.
Yeah, I get the first 2 rows.
Get the first 2, and it was so interesting how those patterns were still in my head after a couple of decades or more.
Yeah.
They were still there, but when I tried to slow down to like make note of the patterns of moves that I was doing to solve it, I couldn't do it because if I slowed down and tried to think about it, it would go away. It had to be totally like, don't think about it and just do it, which was really fascinating phenomenon.
To watch the competitive Rubik's Cubers is pretty cool.
That's amazing. I don't even. They're obviously using algorithms.
Yeah,
that-
it's pattern, but still,
And
you still
how
have to
long
do
do they
have
do
the
it?
physical dexterity to do it, not fumble it, right?
Yeah, because they've reached like what I just described, but on steroids. That they've internalized the patterns so much that they are literally not thinking specifically what moves to make. It is just done automatically, and that's the only way to do it at that level.
Let me see. I'm going to watch the fastest one right now.
It's like
4.22 seconds.
Oh gosh, how is it right?
Wait, from a person?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
That's. I mean,
I can't even
that pushes
imagine.
the physical limits, right? I mean, that has to be simply a physical limitation at that point. That is it.
Right.
I've seen machines do it, and the machines have been doing it in like sub-second. It's crazy.
I mean, if you're 4.2 seconds away from solving a Rubik's Cube, there's not that many moves you have to make.
Yeah, that's why I think their algorithms are much
No, they
better
make.
than,
If you look at them though, but they're making 20, 30 moves right in that time.
And then, and then it went from the basic cube to the, rows of 4x4, and then the 8x8s, and then the snakes, right? And those balls, and it turned into 18,000 different puzzles of the same variation. Kind of cool.
Go ahead, Ian.
So this one's actually from last week, but what's up with the UK spike in COVID?
It's because
Yeah.
the Delta variant is spreading there. Because they got the Delta variant.
Are
We
we
talk
talking
about that on the show. That will be
tomorrow?
out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yep, you'll get an update on the Delta variant. But that's not the dominant variant in the UK. It's more infectious. It's 60% more infectious than the UK now Alpha variant.
Get
So
your
it's spreading
vaccination.
faster. It's covered by the vaccine. The vaccine still protects against it, but it's
Oh, man, that's
spreading
awesome.
among the unvaccinated.
I mean, if
That's
that
the
doesn't
problem.
send the unvaccinated to get you the shot, that would scare me.
Yeah.
I would be scared and go get that shot just out of fear. Hearing
Please.
that
Plenty of people
60%
not
more,
getting
no thank
shots.
you. Gonna get it.
Yeah, you figure that the people that don't have the shot now, right? They're going to start seeing people they know die, and that they might say, "Okay, screw it, I'm going to get it."
Yeah,
I
people
hope-
close to them, family members, friends, their
Mhm.
Yeah.
community.
question, how impactful is that going to be? Is that going to make a difference? We'll see.
Well, it'll be too late for some, unfortunately.
All right, Ian, let's have one more.
Have you heard of probiotic hand sanitizers?
Probiotic.
What?
I have
For
not
what?
heard about that.
Wait
For
a
why?
minute. How
For
would that
what
work?
purpose?
It sounds ridiculous.
Taking
the
your
hell
gut
is it
bacteria
why?
and rubbing it on your hands, basically? Is
There's
that what
also
we're talking about?
gluten-free hand sanitizers if you're interested.
So, what do you got to lick your hands after you put it on?
I don't know. I assume they think it
doesn't-
gets through your hands, or your skin.
A
It does
topical
something.
probiotic? Could that be?
I mean, you
will
have
tell right
bacteria
now-
on your
Why-
skin.
Why would you
Right.
do
Oh,
that
here
when
it-
you can ingest it?
This is what they say. It's designed to kill harmful germs while also protecting beneficial bacteria.
Oh, and they're calling that probiotic,
Probiotic,
not
right.
killing
Oh.
beneficial bacteria. That's
Right.
branding.
Yeah,
That's
it's just branding,
ridiculous.
it's just marketing.
It's all natural
Yeah.
too, right?
Although I like the idea of not killing the good bacteria.
I mean, is the good
Oh, sure.
bacteria less susceptible to alcohol?
I only
I
use
don't think
free
so.
range hand sanitizer.
Yes, organically produced hand sanitizer.
I just think anything that says it's probiotic, just 99% bullshit.
Mhm.
You know?
Literally sometimes.
Yeah.
I get it.
All right, you guys want to take another question, or you want to go?
All right, one more. This is the absolute
on the
last
question.
question.
Make
Last
it good.
one. Anything
Oh,
after
God.
this costs $1,000.
Somebody just added one, and I don't know which one to choose. Okay, do you want useless superpower, or which operating systems do you like to use?
Superpower.
Okay.
Superpower.
Do any? I know. Do any of the rogues have a useless superpower? For example, I can listen to the same song for 12 hours in a day and not get sick of it.
Yeah, right here, $1.19. Right, change. It's pretty useless.
I can copy what somebody says almost as they say it.
Oh, that's
So if you're
annoying.
talking, I can say what you're saying like maybe a tenth of a second behind you. And it's so useless, it's amazing.
It's useless. And
Um,
potentially
Really,
annoying.
Jay, is that true? I can't believe you're not going to try to do it. Believe that I can.
We have to
Oh,
see
I
the
need
person,
to.
right? You
have
I've
to
never
see
tried.
them out.
I need to see. I have to be with them. I've never tried. I could try by what I hear, but I don't know. Plus, we're in a compromised environment because it's not like I'm hearing you guys like blaring, and
Right,
I need to.
Useless superpower.
So you can't do it
Steve.
while streaming.
Right.
Let's try it. Let's try it. Go ahead. You talk, Steve.
All right, this is
All
what
right,
I sound
this is what
like. I talk.
I talk.
There is a little bit of a
This is what-
delay.
delay.
You are better at it when there's not the technological delay involved.
Steve, what about you? What's your useless
I'm
superpower?
thinking.
do
I'm
it.
trying to think of one.
All right, I'll say mine. It's not, I mean, immunity to caffeine. Woohoo!
Oh yeah,
But,
that's
right,
right. Yeah.
That's true.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's not useless though. I mean, I love coffee. I drink coffee all day. I can drink it at 1 a.m. and go right to bed. So it's not useless. So maybe that's not a good answer.
I guess mine is like worse than useless in that I am literally a super taster, and I could taste how horrible so many things taste that other people seem to enjoy eating.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Evan, anything? What do you got?
Superpower.
I know what your superpower is.
All right,
though.
you tell me, Jay, please.
You have this ability to drop a joke bomb silently that you don't actually hear until about 5 seconds after you say it.
That's not useless.
It's not useless, but it's it's not like this cutting edge thing that's going to get you.
You're saying that Evan is silent but deadly? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. And
My
Ian,
joke
I want to
stinks.
hear what yours is.
Thanks for watching the show, everybody. So make sure to go to nexus.org
You asshole.
and sign up. What else do we have coming up, Jay? There's
We have lots of things coming up. So we did we have some pre-recorded bits for Nexus, and we pre-recorded one last night, and we did a pre-recording with Flula Borg.
patrons saw a little snippet of it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. He guy's very funny, and he's just so in the moment, right? He's like literally living in the moment, like I've never seen. So you could go to necss.org. We have incredible speakers this year. We have 2 people from NASA. We're going to be talking about the latest and greatest science and technology that exists today, and you're going to hear things about these science and technologies that you probably don't know, because there's so much to them that the general public just doesn't know, but they're fascinating. We have 2 game shows that you're going to see, and we have our keynote speaker is George Church. So we have a lot going on this year.
Guys, no live stream next Friday, though, correct?
That's right, because I'll be on vacation.
We're off on July 2nd. Yes.
Yeah, but we'll be
Resume
back the
July
week
9th.
after that. Ian, are you able to do the week after that?
Absolutely. I have
All
no
right.
life. I mean,
But no live stream next Friday. But
no,
yeah.
yeah, sorry.
hey, you get next Friday off.
Sweet.
Yeah, but show up
Somebody said
anyways. We don't want you getting
Ian's
out of practice.
superpower.
He's
Sorry,
deflecting.
I talked over you. Somebody said Ian's superpower involves watermelon.
No.
Oh,
no. That's my kryptonite.
Oh,
That's secret.
That was so
That's
funny.
his
Oh my
kryptonite?
god, I still laugh
gosh.
when I think about it.
it was.
It was the perfect timing. It was perfect timing.
It,
It was
Yeah,
it was nanosecond timed.
you
It was
could
like
not
the-
have scripted it. Almost.
Yeah, it's one of those things I always say. If it happened on a sitcom, I would have said, "Oh, that's contrived," right? Like that would never actually really happen in the real world.
It was like, right.
That's not reality.
It was so good.
Oh, maybe if you watch or attend Nexus, there'll be a little watermelon Easter egg. somewhere.
Mm.
If we
And
break
DVC too.
2,500 attendees at Nexus,
that'd be
I will do something with a watermelon at Nexus.
Okay.
I didn't say what it was.
The way
I'm just
you
saying.
say it though. All right.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All right, guys, have a great weekend. Like Steve said, there's no live stream next week. We'll see you. The
Yeah, so
week after
happy
that.
4th for all of our American listeners.
Happy
And-
Bob's birthday on the 4th, too.
Yeah,
Don't forget
birthday
Bob,
on
that.
I'm
the
going to see
4th,
you
yeah.
on the 4th.
Yeah, baby.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks, Ian.
Take
Bye.
care. Be safe.
Good day.
Be safe out there, folks.
Happy weekend.
Skeptic's Guide to the Universe is produced by SGU Productions, dedicated to promoting science and critical thinking. For more information, visit us at theskepticsguide.org. Send your questions to info@theskepticsguide.org. And if you would like to support the show and all the work that we do, go to patreon.com/skepticsguide and consider becoming a patron and becoming part of the SGU community. Our listeners and supporters are what make SGU possible.